question is that the motion be agreed to. I call the member for Fowler.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Thank you to the member for Higgins for bringing this motion to the House. And it's great to hear this afternoon that the HAF bill will now pass with the support of the Greens and the crossbench, securing an additional $1 billion overall in direct funding for public and community housing. It will certainly kick-start the process and enable more affordable housing to be built. This is welcoming news, especially in electorates with high social and affordable housing needs, such as Fowler. But we will see how fast construction will begin from this. I grew up in public housing, and I can't stress enough the importance of having a roof over our heads when we first arrived in Australia. It helped my late mother tremendously to know we had a temporary place to call home while she was working out how to raise her 3 daughters and acclimatise to the new country. This public housing was a stepping stone for my late mother, and from that we were able to slowly rebuild our lives. And today my sister and I can proudly say we have worked hard to contribute back to Australia, and we are in a position to pay for our own homes. But as we know it, it's becoming harder and harder to own a home in today's economic climate. We have seen 13 interest rate rises in 15 months. We're yet to see the ramifications of that on families who are now struggling to pay for their mortgage, electricity bills, car and house insurances, grocery prices, housing availability and affordability are at all-time low. The latest figures from the Australian Bureau of Statistics put the cost of building a house at nearly $450,000 in February this year. The same house costs just over $300,000 to build in February 2021. That's a massive increase of more than $130,000 in just 2 years. Speaking to business owners and ordinary people in Fowler, they're telling me everything has gone up since COVID. In a country where most of us have been raised to believe that if we worked hard, we could one day own our own quarter-acre block in the suburbs, well, that's just a pipe dream. My electorate has the 4th worst rental affordability in Australia, in which 45% of families spent more than 30% of their household income on rent. We have also the 4th worst mortgage affordability in Australia. Nearly 25% of our households spent more than 30% of their household income on repayments. While I acknowledge the housing crisis impacts every Australian, regardless of their backgrounds and postcode, I want to highlight the devastating effect of this housing crisis on people from low socioeconomic backgrounds. In my electorate of Fowler, 42% of the community are renting. I learned recently during a school visit of a family being thrown out of their rental accommodation and were looking for emergency accommodation. We need to provide greater rental assistance so that families don't end up in the streets. There's a huge waiting list for people wanting to access to social and affordable housing, approximately 175,000. That's a large number, which could mean up to 10-year waiting period or more. I know for a fact that in my electorate of Fowler, the high cost of housing forces low-income families to make difficult choices between sometimes housing, renting, food and health care. But housing development goes beyond just funding. So no matter how much money you throw at a problem, we will not fix it. We need to address the construction costs, which I said has gone up, workforce shortages, bureaucratic red tape for DA, and planning approvals across state and local governments. We need to make sure that these different level of governments work together to ensure a faster process and a quicker process to get property developments happening. Therefore, it's imperative that we work together. We must engage every level of the community to promote better housing outcomes. There's so much more that needs to be done, starting with the commitment to increase a real and sustainable investment in social and affordable housing, from working with the community housing providers, developers, investors and building industry. Social housing and affordable housing is critical, especially for families in migrant and refugee communities, and as the member for Indy said, as well as regional communities. We need to ensure that there are targeted funding so that these communities can have a starting point, such as my family and my mother. Thank you.